Hi there, this is Martin Stevenson, artist and general good guy. This is a completely unscheduled stream. We're just testing the setup for the lessons that start on Sunday the 22nd of October at 10 AM GMT. So everybody will be welcome along. It's going to be mainly watercolour painting, but today I thought we just want to test something here, so we're just going to do a little bit of pen and ink work. If anybody does happen to come online, which is unlikely because nobody knows that this is happening, then please comment. We'd like to know about the sound quality, the vision, whether or not everything's clear. So if we just click to the overhead camera, Sarah's with me today. I think we're going to have to see the camera on the other one as well, Sarah. We need to watch it on YouTube. So now I want to see. All right, cool. Okay, right. So let's make a start. So this is my technique that I use for plein air painting. When I'm painting in hot countries, it's always problematic to paint in watercolours because it all dries too fast. So this is my kit for plein air painting, and it involves these, which are Lamy pens, and also water brushes. So I have 3 different sizes of water brush and 3 different sizes of Lamy pens. Lamy's spelt L-A-M-Y, and if you've never used their pens, they're made in Germany and they're fantastic.
We've got feedback. Jenny says everything's good so far, audio and video.
Yay!
Thanks, Jenny.
Hello, Jenny. Where's Jenny from, I wonder? I'm sure she's obviously a subscriber. She knows that we're here. If you could just type where you're from, Jenny, that would be great. Welcome anyway. I've got a couple of notes here in front of me from Sarah, and it says, if we just go to the main screen, so the main camera, that's it. You can see we're new to this, can't you? It says, don't say basically, or guys.
From Australia.
She's from Australia. What time is it in Australia, Sarah? I think you can bring up that little map of times, can't you? I'm sure she can tell us, but I'm sure we can have a look ourselves. What time is it in Australia?
I have no idea.
How many hours before?
I need glasses, sorry.
How many hours? It must be the middle of the night there, I guess. You must be an insomniac. Thanks for joining us anyway, Jenny. So I'm going to concentrate on just explaining the technique that I use for plein air painting, and it's using these Lamy brushes and ink. If I want a hard line, I'll do this boat here. So the light's coming from the right hand side. I think you can probably see that arrow. And so the dark side of this boat would be on this side. Can you see that, Sarah? Don't want to move it up a bit, that's fine. Please feel free to comment, Jenny. I think you're on your own at the moment.
7:20 in Australia.
Is it really? What, PM or AM?
Yeah.
PM. Wow. So I'm going to just add some dark ink. This is from the wide brush. I just want all sorts of things happening on this boat. I think it's got a canopy on the back of it. And then just very quickly, I'm going to add some water from my water brush. And for this I'll just use the fine one. And I just want this to be very dark. It's one of the darkest things in the painting, and it might have a reflection coming down here too. I'll just add that. The first lesson on a week on Sunday is going to be on water and reflections, and we're actually going to be painting a painting called Eftim the Fisherman. This was actually a acrylic that I did on canvas, and the guy who's in the boat there is our next door neighbour, and he bought the painting before the paint was even dry, so I was very flattered. But it's called Eftim, and when I get up really early on the morning, which I do most mornings, Sarah will testify to that. Oh, let's introduce Sarah. Don't know if we can see Sarah. There she is.
I'm the little helper today.
And Sarah's going to handle the chat because I'm going to be really busy. So all I do is add some ink and then very quickly add water to the ink. You've got to work quite quickly using this technique, and if you just squeeze, a bit more water comes out, and you can see we can break up that reflection in the water. I'll do some work on this mountain next. I painted the sky. I'm going to post another video later on today because we just did a test of this, so that'll be going on YouTube. And if you don't want hard lines, so for instance in the sky area there, we did lines in the sky, so I did this wetting to wet. So I just wet the painting actually just with a little normal synthetic brush, just with water, and then just added some very weak Lamy ink, and this is a pot that I put it in, so I just put a few drops of Lamy ink in there and then just kept adding water until it came to the tone that I needed for things like skies. So that's a sealable pot, and that's the one that I'll use for all the skies on all my pen and inks in future. Excuse me. So this is the dark side of the mountain, so I'm happy to have a hard edge there. Can you see that? Yeah. So this is the hard edge of the mountain. The light's coming from the right, and then very quickly I'll take the medium sized brush this time, and I'm just going to add some darks to the side of this mountain, and I'll just add a little bit of darks so it doesn't look too harsh. And you can also pinch ink that's already on there and just add it to other areas, so you get the full tonal value, the very darkest things like this to the white paper. So if I don't want a dark or a light, I'll steal a little bit of ink from there, and let's have some mid-tone down here, a little squeeze of the brush, and this Lamy ink goes a beautiful green colour. Better have some ink on there. Have we got any comments from Jenny, or has anybody added her, or is she still Billy No Mates?
I think so.
Well done, Jenny. I presume you've subscribed to my channel, have you? Otherwise, how would you know I was here? We try to keep these things really quiet. If you wanted snow-capped mountains, all I would do is leave the white paper exposed. Is there any questions on that, Jenny? You may as well ask away. Keep me company. As you can see, I'm left-handed. It's the reason nobody would give me a job as a draftsman. They said I'd always smudge everything. It's their loss. You can also do dry brush technique as well, which I'll be covering in my watercolour lessons. I'm going to post a drawing of the sketch of the picture that we're going to be doing a week on Sunday. I'll be doing that in the next couple of days, so anybody that wants to join with me can make a copy of that. And also, if you want an email of it, just let me know at steve@gmail.com, and I'll send you a copy of that, so you've got a hard copy in front of you if you want to paint along. So do we have any comments about is the visuals okay, Jenny, and the sound? We had 1 or 2 sound issues this morning, but I think I might have ironed them up with my new microphone. So that's how I use pen and ink to do my plein air painting, and you can see from examples of my travels, I usually draw smaller than this when I'm out on my travels, but this is my this is a sketchbook that I did from our travels in Greece. Oh, thanks, Sarah. Sarah's here to remind me by laughing if I say more, basically. Right, Sarah?
Yeah.
So these are some of the sketches that I did from our travels in Greece. This is one that I did before we left.
Do you have a favourite Lamy pen?
A favourite?
Yeah.
Safari. Well, that's the only one I've got, 'cause it's the only one that they sold in Bangkok, so I didn't have a lot of choice. But I do like it. It's very beautiful. It's just a pleasure to hold. So it's just called a safari. The important thing when you buy them, I think, is that I hate throwing away cartridges. So I don't know if you can see this. There's a refillable cartridge in there, so all you do is dip that. Can you see that, Sarah? I can't really see the screen from here. Yeah, can you see it okay? Yeah. So it's a refillable cartridge, and also just here is a small windows, so you can see when you're running out of ink, which is great, 'cause I filled all these up before I left the studio in Sozopol yesterday. So these are a few examples of my sketches. These are the trawlers in Sozopol. Am I positioning that alright for the screen? And this is also Sozopol, which is where we run our art holidays. This is the beach at the end. Sarah can be found there most days during the summer. Okay, Sarah. This was one that I did outside a boutique wine shop in Sozopol, and I was expecting a glass of wine. He offered me a chair, and I'm sure a glass of wine would have followed. But he actually wants to buy this painting, so I've got to redo it. This was, what was the village called in Greece where these old... Carrier. This is Carrier in the middle of Lefkada. And these guys were just huddled underneath the shade in the heat of the day. This is our little yacht, Sophie, and this is Civita. And we spend the early and late part of the summer there, and I can usually be found on the back of this boat or at the gallery around the corner here, on deck or teaching. And you can see from this that I didn't have any weak Lamy ink with me when I was away, so I just left the skies, and I'll do all the skies all together. This was some windmills on Lefkada. This one didn't really work, and it's the bridge at Lefkas town. So I made a bit of a... I got all confused about the darks and the lights, and I was in a hurry. I was really pleased with this one. I got chased by dogs when I tried to take photographs for this sketch. And that's the castle on Lefkada, and this is a fishing shack and a church that you can only get to at low tide.
Jenny's got the same pen as you.
Safari! Yay! They're brilliant. Maybe you can tell me how to change the nibs. My cough. So, is there any questions that you want to ask Jenny? Because we're going to wrap it up in a few minutes. We'll just run through a few slides, and maybe you can tell me if these are all working. This is really putting Sarah on the spot here. So I'll go on. I'll be guided by you. You give me the slide and I'll talk. Oh yes, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're just testing all this. Jenny, please bear with us. We hope we never have to use that one. Or that one. And these are my contact details. I don't know if you've got the ebook, Jenny, Watercolours for Beginners, but if you've not, if you just let me have your email address, I'll send you a copy. It's completely free of charge, and it's 20 lessons, 157 pages. So I think I've got the only printed copy in the world, which was done from a friend from Yulia from Moscow, who is a good friend of mine. What else have we got on the slideshow? Ah, yes, you've already done that. Thanks for joining us today, Jenny. Was there anybody else showed up, Sarah, or was that it?
No.
That's funny. Hopefully, out of the 556 subscribers that I've got, I think you were the only one online. So hopefully, week on Sunday, 10 AM GMT will be my first lesson, and it's going to be painting boats and reflections. So thanks for joining me, Jenny. I'll let Sarah say goodbye personally so you can see the face. I never get seen that side of the camera because she's the pretty one, and
she's got the ebook already. I'm
the ugly one. Okay, so you'll know all about painting water and reflections already. So hopefully, Jenny, you can join us and You might even get a special mention a week on Sunday. So thank you and bye for now.
Thanks, Jenny.
Bye.
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 Enjoy your evening.
And then I think you just press end stream or stop streaming, is it? You might have to do it on OBS, love.